Hi everyone, Dr. Byrne here with another episode of Revive TV. This month it's all about neck pain, and today's topic is around tech neck. What is it, and what are the 5 simple things you can do to avoid it? So I want you to think about this for a moment. How much time do you spend sitting on a screen? You may be watching this from an iPhone or a smartphone or a tablet, or you may be watching this on a laptop. And the chances are that if you're looking at this through those devices, that you're going to have your head in a certain position, and that is forward and flexed. And it's in this position that the term tech neck has come into being. And that is basically neck pain associated with a forward head position. Today we're going to talk about some of the things that can arise because of tech neck. Why having it for a long period of time can cause not only damage to your spine, but potentially to your health. And then we will cover the 5 things that you can do to simply try and overcome this problem or prevent it from happening. So what happens when we have our head in a forward flex position for a period of time? Well, a few things. One is you may start to develop muscle sprains or strains. So I'll have some muscles that are working particularly hard, the ones at the front, and ones that aren't working as efficiently or holding you as we'd like them to. And these are the ones at the back of the neck. Over a period of time, if these you leave them there, they will start to develop new positions. Those muscles that are lengthened but not having any strength will start to lose their ability to recoil as well as we'd like. The other thing that happens is that the mechanics of our neck are altered as well. So as we go into this forward head position, the bones in the spine start to take up a different position. It may affect their ability to move and glide over one another as easily as possible. We know from research that as little as 14 to 15 days, poor spine mechanics or joints that aren't moving as they're intended can start to create osteoarthritic changes that is permanent. Yes, it's minuscule after 14 or 15 days, but it can still occur. And one of the things we know is once it starts, it's very hard to stop. The other thing that I'd like you to understand is that when we take our head into this from a curved position, as we talked about last week, into this forward flex position, is that the spinal cord which runs down the back of this neck is taken into a stretch rather than a nice relaxed position that is when it's got a C-shaped curve. Now we know also that nerves from research that nerves don't like being stretched, they lose their efficiency. So if we are held in this position for a period of time, the messages traveling from our brain to the rest of our body and back again are going to be somewhat diminished. They still work, but they're not optimal as they could be. And left over a period of time for months, years, decades potentially, we can understand that there could be some longer lasting effects beyond just pain and potentially effects to our overall health. So what are some of the simple things that we can do to prevent this from occurring, or if we've started to do that, to overcome them? So there are 5 things that I'm going to share with you today that can help you prevent tech neck. The first one is to set yourself some time limits. So being aware of the amount of time you're spending looking down at a device. So from every 15 to 20 minutes, we want to be changing that position. So giving ourselves a 3-minute rest, whether that's doing some mobility exercises with our neck, whether it's just standing up, taking a walk, but definitely bringing ourselves off the device so the muscles that are in this long position at the back and these ones that are tightening have a chance to re-establish their normal position. So they're not getting used to being there in that position the whole time. To aid you with that, the second thing I suggest you do is use a timer. We could always use a timer on our phones. There are some devices like iWatches which you can set a timer to alert you every 15 or 20 minutes, whatever that is. So set yourself a timer. At the maximum, you want to be moving your whole spine every 30 minutes. So set yourself a timer so you don't have to remember to do it. So you can just get up and move. The third one is to get a holder, and this probably works better for a tablet type of device. So you want to get a holder where you can sit it up, and you want to sit it in front of you so it's in line with your eyes as best you can. You don't want it down here, and we definitely don't want it in this position. So if you get a holder for your iDevices or your smart devices and sit it up so they're in eye level, that's going to prevent you taking yourself into this position. The fourth one is to get a chair with a headrest and aim to have your head on the back of the chair the whole time. So if you've got your head back on the chair leaning back, it's going to keep your eyes on this level, and then bring up your device to your eyes. So whether it's holding it up like so in front of you, having a desk that's high enough to do that, whether it's with the aid of a holder, we're going to do that as well. But think about having a chair with a headrest so that you can keep in contact with it, and that'll allow you to keep your head back and know that you're not dropping that head forward. And the last one, and certainly the one I would suggest to use least, is to use pain as a warning. Okay, so once you start to feel some ache and tension in your neck, it's probably already too late. The problem has already manifested and it's starting to take a deeper hold. But don't ignore the pain, and certainly don't just use medication as to dull the symptom and allow you to just keep doing it, because that's not really addressing the cause. So they're the 5 things that I would suggest you do. Limit your time, set a timer, get a headrest, use a holder to elevate yourself, and use pain as the warning. Next week, we're going to give you some tips about how to overcome the challenges once they've started to occur. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Revive TV.